I should not be cooking as a 7-figure entrepreneur. It is a massive waste of time. I can't lie. I'm not here to sound like a cocky, egotistical prick, but this is very low ROI. I need to find a private chef. I would honestly say as soon as you're making past 10K a month, you should probably go and find a private chef, depending where you're at. Obviously, if you're in somewhere like Mykonos, and you need to be making probably 100 grand a month to go and get a private chef. But it's like death by 1,000 cuts, right? So death by 1,000 cuts means there's tons of little things throughout the day that happen. Like you might have to do the laundry, then do the dishes, make your bed, cook food, do all these like little micro tasks that actually have no ROI. And you get decision fatigue, and therefore you procrastinate and you can't do what you actually could. So you don't want those little things filling up your brain. You don't want to be thinking, oh, I've got to go and run to the grocery store, or oh, I've got to go and do the laundry. Like, you don't want those decisions. So when you're an entrepreneur, you need to eliminate as many of those little decisions as possible, and you should only be focusing on the highest leverage decisions. And so cooking food is not high leverage. Yeah, you're nourishing yourself wherever. If you enjoy cooking and it's like a break to you, then please do cooking, because you need those breaks, right? Story I told the other day, right? Now, you got to find your thing. Some people it's the gym, some people it's going for walks, right? And so you've got to find your thing. But I told a story the other day where I explained how there's two lumberjacks, right? And they're in a wood cutting competition. One of the lumberjacks is a young guy, and one of them is an old guy, right? And they have a competition of who can cut and chop the most wood in 24 hours. And there's a wall between them so they can't look at each other, right? So 24 hours, timer starts, boom. The young lumberjack is hitting really hard, really going for it, just chopping wood, going crazy. Now the young lumberjack wants to see his competition, so he peeks over the wall every now and again to see what the old guy's doing, to see how much like harder he needs to go, right? So every time he peeks over the wall, he sees the old guy just sat there with the axe on his lap. And the young guy's like, oh, but the fuck, this is easy. And he just goes back to chopping, just slogging away, right? Just really hitting it hard, no breaks, just going all out, right? Just continuously hitting as much as he can. And then the 24-hour ends, boom, wall guy's removed. They look at how much wood they've chopped. And the young guy looks over at the old guy, and the old guy's cut 10 times the amount of wood. And the young guy's like, how have you cut more wood than me? Every time I peeked over the wall, you were sat there with the fucking axe on your lap, and I was just slogging away for the entire 24 hours. How did you chop more wood than me? And the old guy said to him, because every time I was sat down, I was actually sharpening my axe, and you just kept cutting and slogging away, and your axe was going blunt. And so he was saying, I'm more efficient because I was sharpening the axe so I could get more out of each swing, right? He was creating leverage. And so that whole thing it's about balance, but it's about sharpening the axe. And what I mean by sharpening the axe is not just going all out and just working, sleeping, and doing nothing else. But you need those things in your day where you take a step back and you just be in the present moment. Maybe it's turning all the lights off, going off your phone, and just thinking with yourself and sitting there and feeling your feelings and feeling your emotions and questioning beliefs, right? And so what that story does is, like, it means you need to find your balance, right? And now some people need to go to the gym to reset so they can go hard again, right? Other people like to go out on walks. Like, I personally prefer to go be in nature is my reset, right? So I'll try and go out for a walk for an hour every day. Some people, it could be cooking, and that was the point I was getting to. If cooking is something that you really enjoy and it resets you, and you're an entrepreneur, then by all means cook. But for me, I don't mind cooking, but I prefer to do other stuff. And so it's not necessarily like something that I want to be doing. I'd rather my food be cooked for me, and therefore that means it's not reset to me, it's low ROI, and so I need to find a chef, right? Now, the good thing about this house is it was my dream. As you guys know, I'm very health conscious, right? Everything I have is organic. The only veg I eat is broccoli and sweet potato, and I make sure the broccoli is steamed so there's no defense chemicals, all this stuff. And so what I wanted to do when I bought this house, I was like, right, my dream is to buy a house that doesn't have tap water, right? Because obviously, like, tap water is really bad for you. And so it was really annoying in my old place where I had to constantly get bottled water to wash fruit and to do stuff. I had to use bottled water all the time. And so now what I did is when I was looking for a place, my one criteria was, like, I want my own water system that's run off a fresh spring, that's actually a good fresh spring, right? And so when I got this house, it's literally a spring which literally runs down the side of my house, a really nice fresh spring from the valley, right? And this house is completely run, the entire filter and water system is run off that spring. So I don't even pay for water in this house. All the water in this house is fresh spring water. You shower in spring water, the taps are spring water, and so you can drink it. And the filtration system is the best of the best. And it is a really good quality spring, because that's something that we had tested, and we really looked into that before I bought this place. And so, yeah, like everything in this crib is just A tier healthy. And it's, yeah, I just thought it was imagine having it was my dream. Like, I manifested that shit. Just having a house completely run by its own water system that you don't even have to pay for. I pay $0 for water. How amazing is that? Unlimited spring water. So, yeah, that's a cool little fact that I thought I would share. Right, I'm like, this cooking is all gone tits up, I can't lie. I shouldn't talk and cook. I'm just distracted. But yeah, the reason I thought, like I said, cooking was low ROI, so I thought instead, why don't I just at least get some leverage from cooking? Why don't I get something out of it? Therefore, I'll create content, because obviously my goal is to create daily content, but it's very difficult to create content daily. I thought it would be really easy. I'm now 40 days into doing daily uploads. It's difficult. I was going to do the day in the life vlogs every day, but also just impossible, because there's nothing to talk about, there's nothing to do. Like, the reality is my day-to-day life is literally wake up, coffee, and work, right? And so, like, when I might start implementing on my walks some days when I have some thoughts on my walk. So I might just do some like nature walks where I'm like giving my thoughts and what's top of mind, or when I'm cooking, right? Or both. And so that's like what I'm going to start doing. I'll document those every now and again. But I need to start working on some more quality YouTube videos, like the ones that are actually going to attract attention and like go viral, because I know what I should be doing, but it's one of those things of like, I'm so overwhelmed with all the other stuff that I'm doing, running 2 7-figure companies, that I just don't have the mental bandwidth to then go and sit down and come up and craft viral content ideas, even though I know that that's technically one of the biggest leverage things. But that's just something that I need to figure out myself, because yeah, I just can't do it. I just don't know what it is, man. It's just difficult, like just having some mental block, which is also why recently I'm also doing a lot of like inner work, a lot of like therapy and stuff like that, which is also amazing. So yeah, we got the broccoli on. So literally we're having broccoli, no herbicides, no pesticides, no bullshit spray, organic broccoli. Same with the sweet potatoes, organic sweet potatoes, and a grass-fed, grass-finished fillet steak. So yeah, and some organic cheddar cheese, which is also lit. But yeah, gonna cook this, and woke up early today looking for sofas. We've looked for so many sofas. It's so difficult to find sofas. Like, it's just so fucking difficult. So we've decided we're gonna have to have our sofas custom built. The room's just too big to fill, and it just looks stupid. So I'm just getting an interior designer to just come up with some shit for us, because this house is too big. I feel like I've got such first world problems. Oh my god, I'm such a knob. I'm like sat here on camera like complaining, oh, my house is too big to put a sofa in, and I've got to have one custom built, and oh, my house is like, oh, my fucking, I don't even know anymore. I can't cook food. Oh, it's so annoying. Like, I'm just a baby, honestly. But now, when you get to this level, it is real. It is like really real. Like, it is, you got to be very careful with your time, because you only have a finite amount of it, right? So stuff like this, it's like watching paint dry. Like, it really is. It's just like, what do you do? Like, what do you actually do? if you want weekly mastermind Q&A calls with me, join the Skool community. It's $97 a month. Next month, we're putting the price up to $194. We might do it this month, actually. Yeah, we might do it midway through the month. I think in 5 days, we'll put the price up double, because we're trying to win the Skool games. So if you want access to my old Inner Circle program, and when I say old, I don't mean old as in like outdated. I just mean like I don't sell it anymore, because we only do partnerships now. If you want access to that, I'll leave a link at the top of the description. It's literally all included in our Skool community. Go look at the About Us page, go look at the offer. It's like $25,000 worth of value for like $97 a month, plus weekly calls with me for the entire month of February. So pretty insane. Again, truth be told, I'm only doing this so I can win the Skool games and meet the Mosey, so I'm just giving away all my value. So yeah, best opportunity you're probably ever going to get. I don't sell any courses, mentorships, low ticket items anymore. Done pretty well with OnlyFans management, doing 500 grand a month, so it's probably some advice I can give you. So yeah, link in the description, join the community, get a ton of value. Also, the community itself is insane. There's 114 members in there. There's so much sauce in there. Like even, like, again, not to sound like a twat, but even the other day, some guy posted some stuff in there and I was like, holy shit, this is straight sauce. I didn't even know this. So yeah, that's there's some really, there's like 7 and 8 figure agencies in there as well. So yeah, and a lot of 6 figure agencies. So for $97 a month, it's the best place to be. And if you buy now at $97 a month, like the price will always stay there for you. So eventually, when it goes up to $999 a month, which is the max we're allowed to put her at, it's going to be insane. Some high quality dark chocolate. Some high quality nuts as well. Everything in my life, in terms of food, super optimized, super satisfying, but super strict. Don't eat fast food. I don't eat any junk food. It's so rare. I have 2 pleasures, right? Other than like fruit and stuff, which is like really good for you. My 2 guilty pleasures are banana, 100% undutched, tested for heavy metals, dark cacao powder, organic cinnamon powder, and raw eggs mixed together, blended, right? Put in a pan and make pancakes. Unbelievable. And I wouldn't even say it's not bad for you, right? But I do have some like top tier grade maple syrup, organic, that I have on those pancakes. Oh my god, it's unbelievable. Literally, you can make the healthiest pancakes in the world by simply banana, eggs, dark chocolate powder, and cinnamon. It makes the best pancakes ever. Obviously, I'm very specific with the ingredients, so the dark chocolate cacao powder I have is like obviously the highest quality you can get, tested for heavy metals, undutched. So ingredients is what matters. But those pancakes are phenomenal. And that's all there is 4 eggs, 2 bananas, a spoonful of dark chocolate, half a spoonful of cinnamon, and it's just blend it up. and literally coconut oil in the pan, and just boom, pancake. Unbelievable. Finish them off with some organic syrup. Oh wow, turns me on. And then my other guilty pleasure is shortbread biscuits. Organic shortbread biscuits. Unfucking believable. I just love them. They're just my favorite. Also, the ingredients in them are not like any of these other terrible biscuits, like cookies, Oreos, bourbons, custard creams, like all the shit I used to eat as a child that I loved. So bad for you. All the cereal, like bro, when I tell you I was a biscuit and cereal kid, I lived on cereal. I'd have fucking 8 bowls a day. I'd have the biggest bowls. I'd eat cereal in a saucepan. I'd have biscuits all the time. Bourbon biscuits are my favorite. Oh my god, bourbons and custard creams. Wow, unbelievable. With a cup of tea, oh my god, unbelievable. But I don't even drink like tea bag tea anymore. Really bad for you. Full of microplastics. You need loose leaf tea. And yeah, like I just won't eat any of that. Maybe one day of the year, I'd say 1 to 5 days of the year, I'll eat like shit. And my version of shit is not McDonald's, like no that. Or maybe have like something that has a seed oil in it. You know what I mean? Like a packet of crisps maybe once a year, maybe, if it happens. I'll never eat McDonald's fast food again. And regardless on how much shit I eat. Like if I have those days where I eat shit, like I said, my idea of eating shit is not going and eating the craziest stuff with loads of seed oils and additives. No chance. It'll never happen again. Also, I only eat one big meal a day. Nothing else. Coffee in the morning, one big meal in the evening and night. Yeah, I was actually having an interesting conversation with someone the other day, and they were talking about the dark side of sort of like motivational content. And yeah, it was just a very interesting conversation because I think motivational content, while it's good and it serves people, I think there is 100% a very dark side to it. And I think it potentially can have more of a negative impact than people on positive, which is kind of crazy because people consume motivational content for it to have a positive effect on them. But I think the people that rely on motivational content, it actually ends up having a negative effect on them. Because truly motivated, disciplined people don't need to rely on motivational content. And while you can see stuff that inspire you and motivate you, if you're actively searching for it and looking it out before you do work because you need that, you're probably in the wrong business or you're probably in the wrong field of work. Because I've never once ever in my life, not once, and this is I swear, I've not once ever had to go and feel like, oh, I need to watch motivational content to get motivated. I've never had to listen to someone speak. I've never, ever, ever had to go and think to myself, oh, I need to go and consume some motivational content to get by, or I need to go and watch something that's going to inspire me. I've never even really consumed motivational content. Like, that very, very rare I've actually consumed motivational content. I don't even think I may have never intentionally consumed motivational content, which is interesting because it's such a big culture. But I think it creates feelings of inadequacy in your life. Like, I think that's something they can massively do. Comparison, feeling like you're not enough. Like, I feel like there's so many negatives to it, and people just get in that mental masturbation of like thinking that it's personal development. Like, they think motivational content is personal development when it's not, in my opinion. And so I just think it has a tendency to just breed like that sort of comparison. And I don't know, I just think motivational content can actually be toxic and actually have a negative effect. Set unrealistic expectations of like what's actually possible. And so yeah, I think if you've got like, if you're in the mindset of like, I need to watch motivational content to get by or to do this task, you're probably not doing something that you should be doing. And have you ever considered that instead of trying to force yourself to watch motivational content to feel inspired? I've never had to feel inspired. I'm inspired every day I wake up. Yes, like I said, people motivate me 100%. I see people like Michael Jordan, if I watch his documentary, yeah, that motivates me and inspires me to do big things in my life. but I don't need it. I didn't need to watch it. I don't need it to feel more motivated or inspirational. There's a difference, right? And so like if you're consuming it intentionally and you're consuming it to get motivated, I think it has more of a negative effect, in my personal opinion. But again, is my opinion relevant? Probably, because I've never consumed motivational content intentionally. So maybe it works for you. But in my opinion, looking from the outside, everyone that I've spoke to that consumes a lot of motivational content actually is nowhere near where they want to be in life, because they just get stuck consuming. They just consume it. They just get stuck in that phase of just consuming motivational content. So yeah, it's pretty interesting how that side of things works. But I think it's a massive negative, like, yeah, it's crazy. And it's not, in my opinion, it's not personal development, right? But yeah, I don't know, this whole personal development, not personal development, personal development's great. You should be doing an hour of personal development daily. But this whole like motivational stuff, like if you go to listen to motivational videos and motivational speeches, and especially the motivational videos that are like, bro, if you're watching like materialistic motivational videos where you're like looking at cars and stuff and like there's someone speaking, like, bro, I think that's fucked. Like, I think that's fucked. Maybe it works for some people, but fuck me. I just don't think it would work for me. I've never been like truly motivated or inspired by materialistic shit. I'm inspired by impact and by people, and so like I could never go. I think you get put into a scarcity mindset. Don't get me wrong, I think it's good to get on the frequency of your goals and manifest, but there's a difference between manifesting the stuff you want in your life and binging content and binging motivational content that's only materialistic, and only having a future vision of a materialistic lifestyle. If your future vision is a materialistic lifestyle, you're going to be very fucking unhappy. I truly believe that. So that's my take on motivational culture. And also it's just this whole like entrepreneurship field in general just creates a like massive wealth inadequacy where it's just always showing lifestyle and this and that, and it just makes people feel like shit, and it just constantly has people comparing themselves, and it's not the reality. Look at this, I'm a fucking 7-figure entrepreneur cooking food right now, like cooking steak. Everyone online's like, oh, you'd have a personal chef, which, yeah, don't get me wrong, I should have a personal chef, like I mentioned at the start of the video, but there's also realities like this that these motherfuckers don't show you, because you're always thinking that, oh, they're in Ferraris, Lambos, they're with girls, they're traveling, they're doing this, they got private chefs, blah, 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 blah. Not the case. So, yeah, no one's real anymore. This whole influencer shit is just super fucking fake. Everyone's just fake as fuck. But yeah, talk about like the number one way to operate based out of like fear and scarcity, right? Like, that's where like these people like E-Man and Tate like have you tricked. Like, they're very good marketers, don't get me wrong. But like their whole like fear-mongering marketing, I think, is very manipulative for their own good. And all the people that idolize them are probably going to come flying at me for this, but it just creates a sense of, their aim is just to get you to create a sense of urgency, which can be good, don't get me wrong, but like, I just think operating like abundantly is the way forward, and you can't do that if you're constantly living in the future or constantly living in the past. If you're never in the present, you can't move fast, and so like and if you're only basing your life off the stuff and the things that you want to have, like materialism and consumer culture, you're going to be very unhappy if you inevitably ever do get there, which is highly unlikely you will if that's your outlook on life. And so like people like E-Man and Tate, I think, just have this whole fear-mongering tactic to make you feel like the world's coming to an end so you can get rich quick and get rich now, but I just think it's a very bad mentality. I just think it just perpetrates the wrong message of like abundance and just going through entrepreneurship for the journey and to become the best version of you, not going through it to get a Lamborghini at the end of it. Like, I'm going through entrepreneurship because I want to truly understand myself and become the best version of me. I'm not going through entrepreneurship to get a Lamborghini at the end of it. That's not how I think about it. And so like, yeah, I think it's a very toxic place, and I think a lot of people operate out of scarcity and fear, and therefore they're never going to achieve their goals. Like, there was a survey done that over 54% of 16-year-olds in high school think they're going to be millionaires by the time they're 25. it's straight delusion. It can't statistically happen. The 1%'s the 1% for a reason, and that's what I mean. Like all these people like E-Man and Tate, they're amazing marketers. I have nothing against them. I like both their stuff, but I just think sometimes it's a bit far for their own good. Like they're clearly doing it to profit of a younger, more naive audience that hasn't been through the journey, that understands the journey, and so therefore like it's just easy to take advantage and make quick money. And I just think it's kind of sad in a way, but yeah, would I be any better if I was in this situation? I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe if I was in E-Man and Tate's situation, I'd do the same thing. I really don't know. It is a player versus player. It's kind of every man for themselves, but again, like I just don't know if that's the mindset I would ever want to adopt or the mindset I like, but that is the reality. But I like to have an impact, and I like to almost think I can help everyone, even though I know I can't. But yeah, I think it's kind of very manipulative what those guys do, because regardless, right, about all this stuff about the WHO and the world and the Matrix and escaping the rat race, blah blah blah. While there's elements of that, it's 100% true. Regardless, right? If all that shit happens, where it's like world end and doomsday, blah blah blah, and you're planning for that, you're living in the future every day, which just creates anxiety. You can't attract money and become the person you want to be if you're living constantly in the future and being anxious, and you're not going to hit your goals. And regardless of if that does happen, there's nothing you can do about it. It doesn't matter how rich or wealthy you are. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, look at Tate. Tate is, I've escaped the Matrix, blah blah blah. He's more in the Matrix than anyone. He got put in prison. If someone like Tate can get put in prison and this and that, how the fuck do you think you've got any chance? So if something like that is going to happen, don't be naive to think that you're going to be like, just by making a bit of money and becoming a millionaire, you're off the grid and you can do what you want. It's not that simple. If the superpowers of the world really want to do something with your life and make you a slave and a prisoner, they can pretty much do it, and that's just the harsh reality. So fuck living in the future of yeah, if that happens, guess what, we're all fucked. It doesn't matter how much money you've got, right? So just live for today, live for the present moment. That's at least my outlook on it. You don't have to agree with my opinions, but that's my opinion. And that's the beautiful thing about the world. We get to have our own opinion, our own perspective, and our own beliefs. Maybe in 10 years I'll say, wow, I was completely wrong. But I mean, like, Tate explains this message about you can be free and this and that, but he's been locked down and he hasn't been able to leave Romania for the last fucking year and a half. So if there's anyone in the Matrix, I'm more free than Tate. I can go wherever I want right now. And he's way wealthier than me. He has way more influence. And so, like, it's not always the message they push. You've got to look between the lines sometimes, and think that yeah, while people do get results, 100%, don't get me wrong, they are doing it for their own benefit, and they are manipulating you, and they are fear-mongering marketing, which is kind of dark manipulation. Yeah, maybe this is a controversial opinion, and like I said, I've got nothing against E-Man and Tate. I just think that's what they're doing. Again, I don't consume a lot of content, so I'm not the best person. This is just my general thoughts while I'm cooking, like a brokey. But like, my general thoughts around that is what I just said. But yeah, like I said, I don't consume. I haven't watched an E-Man Gadzi video in a long time, and I haven't watched an Andrew Tate video in a long time either. I kind of just stay in my own lane and do my own shit. But don't get me wrong, I think what they've done overall, as their overall message, is very positive. I think they've done more positive than negative, 100%. I think their overall message is great. I think they've opened a lot of people's mindsets. They've switched a lot of people on, and I think that they've had very positive impact. 100%, I agree with that. But I also think, as everything is equals, there's the law of averages, there's positives, there's negatives, and there's equal and opposites. And I think that they've also had a negative impact. But again, it's like, I'm just thinking through my thoughts right now, but then it's like, okay, cool, they've had a positive impact, but then if they have a positive impact, that also means they're going to have a negative impact. And also, I guess it's on the people themselves. So can you really say that they've done anything wrong? Not necessarily, because at the end of the day, it's down to the individual and what they do. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about it. I would say they've actually done more positive than negative. But yeah, there's definitely some people's lives that are in the wrong mindset, and they're living anxiously thinking that the world's coming to an end. And like I said, regardless if it is, there's nothing you can do about it. We're on a spinning rock at the end of the day, right? The fucking world could end right now. So like, live for now, don't live in fear, and don't live in the future or the past. Live in the present, and just like enjoy what you've got. And That's not me killing your motivation. Still strive for the stuff you want to strive for, but don't do it out of desperation, because you're gonna get there and you're gonna have this picture of what it was like, and you're gonna think you're free and you've escaped the matrix, and it's probably not gonna be anything like that. And you're gonna think that your idea of getting rich is like, oh, you're just gonna be driving Lambos every day, and you're gonna be in Dubai and you're gonna have all these women and blah 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 blah. Probably not. I can't lie to you, bro. Probably not. And so yeah, I think you need to live the life that you want to live and not get the beliefs of other people. Like at the end of the day, like E-Man and Tate have pushed their beliefs onto people, which that's kind of what I'm doing right now. But what you should do, my advice is, you should take the beliefs that you believe will serve you, and then you should question all the other beliefs. Again, it's the Orson Scott Card quote, right? We question all of our beliefs except those we truly believe and those we think to question, right? And that's really powerful, because I challenge my beliefs all the time. Like, look at this conversation I've had. I started off saying that it was bad, and then I ended up coming to the fact that maybe it's not that bad at all. So yeah, we got steak, eggs, and broccoli. So I'm just gonna eat this shit right now. But I think in general what they've done for society, and they've woke a younger generation up, 100%.
Everyone's, what are we in the 10th? By now you've already probably broken one or two of your core things that you promised you were gonna do this year. And I think about that a lot, actually, the whole New Year's resolution thing. And
so I just ate my food, and those of you that watched me cooking probably realized I forgot the fucking sweet potatoes, but it didn't cross my mind. There's my sweet potatoes. Completely fucking forgot about them. Just ate my food and completely forgot they were there. I forgot I even put them in the oven. Well. Wow. Fuck me. What the fuck? I thought I was missing something. I didn't feel satisfied.